Have you ever felt like you're too far gone? Like your past mistakes define you forever? Let's talk about a man who proves that no darkness is too deep for light to penetrate. This is the incredible story of Saint Moses the Black. Imagine a towering figure, a man whose very name struck fear into the hearts of travelers. Moses was a notorious bandit leader in 4th century Egypt. He was a slave who was cast out for theft and dishonesty, and he channeled his bitterness into a life of violence and crime. His gang roamed the Nile, robbing, terrorizing, and leaving a trail of chaos. He was a man consumed by his own rage, a master of intimidation, living a life that seemed utterly irredeemable. He was running from the law, from his past, but most of all, he was running from himself.
Ow.
But even in the deepest shadows, a flicker of grace can ignite. One day, while fleeing from the authorities, Moses stumbled upon a monastery in the desert of Seats. He burst in, demanding shelter, expecting to intimidate the monks as he had everyone else. But instead of fear, he was met with something entirely unexpected: peace. He saw men living in quiet contemplation, in radical kindness, and in deep humility. Their serenity was a stark contrast to the storm raging within his own soul. The abbot, Saint Isidore, welcomed him not as a threat, but as a brother. This encounter planted a seed. Moses was profoundly moved by their way of life. He saw strength in their gentleness that dwarfed his own brute force. The kindness they showed him pierced through his hardened exterior, and for the first time he felt a longing for something more. The life of violence suddenly felt empty. The man who had taken so much now wanted to give. He decided to stay, to leave behind the blood-stained path he had walked for so long, and seek the peace he had just witnessed. The transformation was anything but easy. The demons of his past haunted him relentlessly. His violent temper, his deep-seated habits, and his lustful thoughts tormented him day and night. He confessed to the elders that he was besieged by temptation. But instead of condemnation, they offered wisdom and compassion. They taught him the power of prayer, fasting, and ceaseless vigilance. They told him to fight his inner battles with the same intensity he had once fought his outer ones. But this time, with the weapons of humility and love. One of the most famous stories tells of a time a brother committed a fault, and the monks gathered to judge him. Moses initially refused to go, but when pressured, he took a leaking basket filled with sand, put it on his shoulder, and walked into the assembly. When the others asked what it meant, he replied, "My own sins run out behind me like the sand from this basket, and I do not see them, and yet I have come to judge my brother." The monks were so moved by his humility that they forgave the brother immediately. Moses, once a man of violence, had become a teacher of mercy. The former bandit became a spiritual father, a priest, and a guide to countless souls who sought his wisdom. His story culminates in an act of ultimate sacrifice. When a band of marauders descended upon the monastery, the monks prepared to flee. But Moses, now an old man, refused. He told his brothers, "I have been expecting this day for many years." He chose to stay. Not to fight back with violence as he would have in his old life, but to meet his end with the peace he had worked so hard to find. He died not as the warrior he once was, but as a martyr for the faith that had so completely transformed him. Saint Moses the Black shows us that our past does not have the final say. No matter how far we've fallen, no matter the mistakes we've made, the power of love and forgiveness can create a new beginning. His life is a testament to the fact that the greatest strength is found not in power, but in surrender to a higher love. Thank you for watching. If this story touched you, please like, share, and subscribe for more inspiration.